welcome to this week's Rocksmith Developer Stream. I'm your host and the community developer for Rocksmith, Doug Lilly. I'm glad you're all here today. Today we are going to look at the 3 songs in the Green Day song pack 4. 4 song packs over the course of Rocksmith, and this is the most recent, and we will very shortly take a look at that. But first, I want to let you know that if this is your first time here, this is what we do. We take a look at the music from the week, we play through it, we talk about it, we give away prizes. Today is going to be a little bit different. One, as many of you have probably seen, the bonus track, which usually lands 3rd in the list, is being moved to the end because we're letting you choose what that bonus song is going to be. We've got 10 options. That link should be posted in the forum, in the chat, probably right about now. If you haven't yet voted, you can go vote to see to tell us what the last song is going to be. These are all Green Day songs. We've got 10 of them. You can pick one, and then 2 guests, our last 2 guests, will play those songs today. Also, this is really fun. Ellison Cruz, his band, The Good and the Damned, is about to release an album. I got to sit down with him and talk to him over the internet. And we've got a music video from that album. Also, later today, we're going to give away some copies of that digitally. So stay tuned for that. Right now, let's take a look at the Green Day song pack 4.
Dry, face is numb. Something's falling out in my room. On my own, here we go.
There you go, 3 new songs from Green Day. 2 of those new songs are really, really new, as in the album, Father of All, just came out last week, the day that we had our clue for this pack. So that was exciting for us. So yeah, the new sound, quite different. And let's talk about some of that sound with the people who will be playing the classic Green Day track. This is Chris Donnelly and Brian Chu. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
So you're not playing, okay, you're not playing either of the new tracks right now.
No.
And I was upset when I found out, Brian Shu, that you did not note track Brain Stew
Right. For
because
obvious reasons.
for obvious reasons. B-
You know, actually, you know what my Instagram handle is?
yeah, is it
Brain
shoes?
Shoes?
Yeah, yeah, like shoes that you wear on your
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
have a lot of history with this tune. Anyways, like, this was on the radio, like, just every
all the time.
every 20 minutes you'd hear it. But yeah, it was one of those tunes that was basically the first time I ever transcribed something. Was like one.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like this song amongst like maybe a few others, like some Blink 182 and some 41 tunes. And I remember trying to figure it out, and I could not figure out that there was like, because it's an E flat tuning, standard tuning.
So you can figure out how they got.
Yeah, no one had ever told me about like
That you
alternate
could-
tunings.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, whoa, like his guitar's out of tune.
That's funny. That's funny. It's
Yeah.
interesting to me that I guess that you discovered E flat standard before you discovered drop D, or was drop D, did that not count since it's only like one string?
Man, I don't know when I discovered drop
Because
E.
there was a lot of drop D.
I mean, sorry,
that
E
time.
standard. Like, cause
Yeah.
well, I wasn't listening to a lot of drop D music
Sure.
back then. Except like there were a few like some 41 tunes that had. I think Fat Lip has drop D in it.
I think
And
you're
I
right.
couldn't figure that one out either. I could like just at that time of my life, like I did not understand the concept of like
Yeah.
alternate tunings, and
Yeah.
still to this day I do not.
And Chris Donnelly, you
have
were
a hard
gameplay
time
engineer here
grasping
at Ubisoft San Francisco. You, I think when you found out that this song was coming out, you leapt upon it.
Oh, I jumped on it.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
you
it. I wanted it.
So this is your second time on the stream.
Yes.
So if anybody wasn't here, was last week your first week, or was it
Couple
2 weeks
week-
ago?
couple weeks
weeks
ago,
ago. So
yeah.
if anybody missed that, this is Chris Donnelly. He's a gameplay engineer here
Hello.
in Ubisoft Studio at San Francisco. And in Brian Shu, probably everybody knows Brian Shu, but if they don't,
The
he is a
Shu.
note tracker here.
Yes.
And we wanted to make sure that Brian Shu was on Brain Stew because it's fun to say.
Say it
That's
again.
and I guess Brian Shu, Brain Stew, Brain Shu.
3 times fast.
Brian Stew. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and
Let's
why
rock.
why waste any more time? Let's let's
don't
take a look
know.
at Brain Stew, which is a standalone song. I want to ask if you have questions. I know you. I know some of you might. You be Jurassic in the chat. We'll get those to me.
I've always loved this guitar tone too.
Oh yeah.
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep.
Fun fact: this song was originally named Insomnia.
Really?
You know the.
Oh,
that's
that makes
what
sense.
the album is named,
Yeah.
It's named, right?
Till I
Insomnia?
try. No rest for crime stops in my mind. On my own, here we go. My eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. Right up and bulging down my skull. My mouth is dry. Face is numb. Something spun out in my room. On my own, here we go. Mind is set on overdrive. The clock is laughing in my face. Crooked spine. Senses dull. That's the point of delirium. On my own, here we go. My eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. Right up and bulging out my skull.
and then we sing, and then we all just sing what we hear in our heads. So yeah, this was a single song.
Mm-hmm.
It came out. It was its own song, and this is what we were able to license. So this is I'm speaking about the song that was not included with this one. It would have been two separate songs. We weren't able to license that one. This is what we have,
Yeah.
and we hope you enjoy it. Plus, there would be people who would be upset that we sold a 1.5-minute long Green Day song if the other one was part of the deal, I believe.
Just play it again.
Somebody's gonna be mad.
Yeah, dude,
no
just
matter-
play it again.
I don't know,
It's a
somebody's
great
gonna be
riff.
mad. Yeah, just keep playing this song. Yeah,
Plenty
that,
of Green Day.
so that tone is so like
Yeah.
noisy,
I was
deliciously noisy.
Yeah, and it's like thick. I was
Yeah,
like kind
yeah.
of reading up on the production process for this album, and I guess like while they were looking for guitar tones, basically Billy Joe had like a row of 7 amps, and they like deliberated a lot on like getting
Yeah.
guitar tones for this album. This was like after Dookie, so they finally had the budget to
Wait,
like
so they had like
kinda go all
an
in on-
R&D like scenario for their for
basically
that's
they
amazing.
want-
That's
like
amazing.
they kind of wanted to go all out on like making the record sound really just clean, I guess, because you
Sure.
know they were coming from the punk scene. That's not necessarily what you think of
yeah,
when you think
Yeah.
of punk music.
interesting.
Yeah.
And
So they kind of went like really much more clean productions.
do you think they used a noise gate on the guitar? Because after, especially in the beginning, when you've got those jets, like
Yeah,
the sound
probably.
that cuts. I mean, I guess it could just be.
I might not be
faded
that
down.
good.
No. It's I don't think that's necessarily
Yeah.
a technique thing as much as it is a production thing. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
I mean it's really easy to do in like Pro Tools
just-
and
yeah,
Logic nowadays, where
yeah,
you
just
can
cut-
just
snip that
select a
off, yeah.
section and just like silence it.
Not have sound be there.
But yeah, I don't know. They could have like, I don't know.
Okay.
No idea.
Yeah.
It sounds much beefier
In the
with-
headphones.
in the headphones.
I would imagine that the guitars were tracked more than 2 times.
I
like layered on top of each
Yeah.
other.
I'm sure you're right about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right. Okay. Well, thank you both very much for coming by and playing.
Yeah.
I
Great
think
to
we're
be
gonna we've got a long stream today, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move things right along.
You
And
just don't
have
like us. You
uh,
want to get us out of here.
that is untrue. That is untrue. I love it when you're here.
Oh,
But
thanks.
right now we have to give some prizes away to our community. This is going to be the
Enter that
first
raffle.
Ernie Ball prize pack of the day. Please listen to what UB Jurassic is telling you in the chat to let you know how you can win this prize pack. If you win, you're going to see everything that you see on your screen at the moment, including 2 sets of strings, 1 4-string set for your bass, 1 6-string set for your guitar. You are going to receive 12 Ernie Ball picks. You're going to get 3 picks from us here at Rocksmith. That is the Spectrum Plectrum pick. Which is, I believe, I've said this a few times. I believe that pick name was partially created by Jean308 in our chat, but I'm not. I think there was one other person, and I always forget who that was who kind of initiated the name. But it was finalized, I believe, by Jean. Along with those picks, you're going to get a black Ernie Ball guitar strap and a package of Ernie Ball Wonder Wipes and a peg winder for Ernie Ball. All of that can be yours if you listen to what UB Jurassic is telling you in the chat right this moment. So please, listen to that. Good luck. If you win, you're going to be reached out to by UB Jurassic via Whisper. He is going to get from you your name, your shipping address, and your telephone number. And make sure you get all of that information to us. We do need all of that info to get your prize to you. And I'm playing the next song. I'm going to let you know. Give you a little bit of a look behind the curtain. I'm playing the next song, and I'm trying to think of this while I tune, which is being difficult, but it's fine. So into the contest. Hopefully you win. If you're not in the U.S., we do ship internationally, but we would ask that you break up your address line by line. Oh, and right now you still have time to vote on what the final song of the stream is going to be. There are a choice of 10 Green Day songs. That link should be posted in the chat right about now. That'll help you decide, help us know what our final song of the stream is going to be. It'll be any of the ones that you see on your screen right now, though it looks like the voting has gone in a particular direction. We'll see. Something could happen. Something could change. But the players who are playing it won't know what it is necessarily unless they've been cheating and sneaking a look at the old poll. Hopefully that's not the case, but we'll see very soon. I believe we're about ready to play the second song of today's stream. Hey, I'm over here. Francois Wong.
Oh, I thought that was Doug Lilly right
No, I'm Doug Lilly. I don't think your mic is on. I don't hear. Or there you go. Can
So
you-
for
there
those
you
who
are.
missed the joke, I was.
Yeah.
I remain Doug Lilly because I'm on the left, right, the right.
Yeah,
the thing.
it's all very confusing. We're both wearing blazers. I'm on the left. It's a madhouse.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The band is wearing blazers too on the music video of the song. So
So we're playing. What are we playing, Francois?
we're playing Favor of.
Father of All.
Yes, thank you.
We'll just end it. We'll end it there. It's the title track from the new album.
And the first single.
And the first single from the new album. So this song has been available digitally and a
Since-
single for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months.
A couple of months, I think.
Couple months,
yeah.
but the album itself
when
dropped
the
last Friday.
first stream announced the Hella Mega tour with Weezer
Yeah.
and Fall Out Boy.
Okay, so yeah, that was a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that tour is that started? Have they started that tour? I imagine so. since the
I
album's out.
think it's starting next month.
Starting next
maybe?
month?
I don't
Okay.
remember.
I'm sure we can get that information out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Father of All. So yeah, if you if this is your first time hearing the new Green Day, it is different. It is a departure.
Oh yeah.
So I get a lot of like just noisy dance rock vibes, which is I like noisy dance rock. That's what I listened to since college. That's why we wear
But I
blazers.
think it's the vibe of the entire album, right? Like lots of fun.
Yes, yeah, it is. It
Um,
is a kind of ruckus
Yeah.
album.
It's very
That's a good word
carefree,
for it.
which is very different from the last album.
Yeah, a lot of that sort of like playground sort of playing like you would.
Yeah, with the hand claps,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you can't hear that because it's not mic'd.
And the bass all this. You can probably pick it up. You were talking about standing. Were you gonna stand or sit? What are we doing?
Are we standing?
Oh, let's stand up.
I
Let's do
think
it.
I think we should
Let's
stand.
stand.
Okay.
Oh, everything's different. Oh, my head's cut off. No, that's not gonna work. Let's sit. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're still taking questions. If you have any, please ask UB Jurassic in the chat. On the way still, we've got the new music video from The Good and the Damned and an interview with Ellison Cruz.
Inside of us. Inside of us.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just it's noisy fun.
Yeah.
which is I'm into it. So yeah, that is the first. Is it also the first track?
It's also the first track of the
First
new
track
album.
on the song.
Yeah.
Uh,
Followed by
first single.
Ray, Fire, Aim,
Yeah.
Ray, Aim, Fire.
So we have the
Yeah.
first two tracks from the new album, Father of All. Dot dot dot. Yeah. So you jumped on this one too, right?
Yeah,
Or
because
just wanna
I'm
play?
usually among the first people to know what tracks.
That's true. That's
are
true.
Coming out.
You hit me up pretty early on.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you had much time with the new album so far?
Well, the problem is this Japanese band named Scandal also released a new album this week,
And so you're
so I've been
invested in that?
switching between
Sure.
between the new album and that's
Yeah.
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 So-
No excuses needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Francois, for showing
Thank
up.
you for having me.
Again, we do have a little bit extra today, so we're moving through some of the conversations a little bit quicker. So I apologize that we didn't have more time with Francois today.
Oh, I wanted to have more time with you too.
Oh, that's so sweet. Right
We're
now,
in Blazers.
I've actually forgotten what's coming up next. So if I look behind the camera, oh yeah, it's that time. So right now, what we're gonna do right now would normally be the video that we play while we give
the
away
midstream video.
this DLC. What we're gonna do differently right now, we are going to take a look at the interview that we just had with Ellison Cruz, and we'll be right back. And then we're going to see the new music video from his band, The Good and the Damned's upcoming album, Burst Together. But now, and while we're doing this, while we're looking at this interview, we're going to give away, I believe it's 5. Brian Turner, you addressing in the chat, can correct me, but we're going to give away 5 copies of Burst Together, the Good and the Damned album, a digital copy. Instructions for how to redeem it will be sent to you when you win. But it's the full album, so the album was released, you'll see soon, in 2 parts. So this code will be for the full album. So right now, while you're watching this, please enter to win 1 of 5 copies of Burst Together by The Good and the Damned. And we'll see you in just a few minutes. And welcome, everybody. Have a very special guest here today, which I probably just introduced, but I'm going to introduce him again. Everyone, this is Ellison Cruz. Many of you, I imagine, probably know his torso and legs as the torso and legs of the Riff Repeaters weekly DLC videos. But that's not why he's, well, that's part of why he's here. That's part of why he's here, but that's not entirely why he is here. Ellison Cruz, you are releasing a new album.
Finally,
Very
yeah.
soon, so The Good and the
After, yeah, a very long time. We're finally releasing an album next week, so
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
So this is the second half of the full album, correct?
Yeah, the full album's called Burst Together, and we released the first half, which I like to call Side A, back in 2018,
Sure.
and then Side B, which is the complimentary side, is going to be released on the 20th of February. So
Awesome. And we're very shortly we're going to show a music video that you've made from that
Yep.
album for DSD is the name of the song.
DSD. Yep.
Now I want to talk a little bit about this the sort of cadence of releases that you have.
Yeah, sure.
Back when I had a previous interview, I talked a little bit about how independent artists. I think a lot of people have at least a loose understanding of how record labels, when you put out a record with a label, kind of how that process works. Everybody, I think, has some idea of those processes. But when you're on your own, I mean, this was crowdfunded, and I assume partially
Yep,
self-funded.
Kickstarter definitely contributed a lot to it, so
Yeah.
that was really awesome. It was way more than I expected, and it was a little overwhelming, to be completely honest. I wasn't
Oh, no.
expecting to get that much, and it was just like, it was almost too much, I feel like. But
Well, I'm glad you
um,
persisted. What sort of helped you persist through that those difficult times? Like what is it that drives you to say, like, this is all on me, this is all on us, this is all on the band? We're not getting, like, we don't have like a label setting up the recording, setting up distribution, all that. What's the driving thing that makes you want to just go through all this?
Honestly, it's really more of like emotional labor that kind of is contributing to that drive mostly. I'm not looking to make any money off of this. Obviously, I'm not doing a bunch of like pre-release shows or any of that stuff. It's just it's like a deeply personal project to me. And although I'd love to get into it, if you just take like a glance at the lyrics, it'll really just speak for itself.
Okay.
So
Okay, great.
and this app really it really fills out kind of like the more heavily emotional moments that you might have gleaned from the first half.
Sure,
So
interesting. So I find it really interesting that you're using sort of traditional media terminology with like the side A and the side B, referring of course
sure.
like to vinyl records or cassette tapes. Um,
Yeah.
but this is are you doing a physical release?
Yes, I'm doing all handmade stuff.
Oh, okay.
We have, I'm writing all the stuff down, the track listing and CD stuff and all that. And it's just how we've always done it and how I prefer it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more fun that way too, I think, than just, sending out from a plant directly to someone's house. It's just like I don't like the feel of that really. So
But most everything to this point has been digital. Would that be fair?
mostly digital. Yeah. Some people will get the physical, but it's not really all that different.
So you've released so far you've had a single, you've had an EP, and then the two halves of this album burst
Yeah,
together.
exactly. Yep.
So you're not constrained by the physical media uh, output that a
No, not necessarily. A lot of people aren't really buying nowadays. We used to have our EP in stores, and it's not because it was bad. It's just in general, stuff doesn't sell all
it's
that
not as
much.
accessible if you can't just grab your phone and play the song
Yeah,
you want to hear.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your guitar history. I think most of our viewers like to know sort of where people got started with guitar, how they took their first steps. So when did you start on guitar?
So I got my first guitar when I was about 11 or 12. Right now I'm 27, so it's been about 15 years,
Yeah,
but I didn't start playing more seriously until I was a little bit older.
yeah.
My very first hour with the guitar, I ended up snapping a string over
Oh no.
my finger. I still have the scar for it, and kind of turned me off to it after a little bit. But I got into music really late, so I wasn't super privy to all the cool bands and stuff I know now.
Sure.
And so, I'm 15, 16 years old, and I'm starting to get into like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and just like kind of grungier things like that. But I always kind of gravitated more acoustically.
Yeah.
So I listened to a lot of like Bright Eyes and stuff like that, and I find myself more proficient just playing rhythm
Okay.
mostly,
Okay.
which might surprise some people,
Yeah.
but I
Really
honestly
surprises
would
me.
prefer that.
Now, is
Yeah.
that sort of an artifact of you also doing vocals, or is that just how you like to express your
Yeah,
songs?
yeah, a little bit of both. With the guitar that was electric, it was kind of hard to play and hear how you would sound in like a household scenario.
Right.
So
Right.
right. So just playing acoustically, I mean, it doesn't sound much better that way, but I just could get a better feel for how it would sound with my voice. And
Sure.
so I'd always preferred that. And all of our songs originally did start off acoustically. It might be hard to believe,
Interesting.
but
Okay. Yeah.
every single one of them is just acoustically born. So it's kind of cool to be able to just transition right into that and not need, you know, electricity or drums.
Right. 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 Um, and I believe, as I mentioned, a lot of people recognize you as the player, the YouTube face without a face of the Riff Repeater. When did you start making the videos, and what sort of made you interested in just putting those playthroughs out there?
Well, initially back in 2007, 2008, I started doing Guitar Hero and Rock Band DLC. So I would buy the songs as they came out and I would make
Sure.
guitar videos, sometimes full band stuff. And then when Rocksmith came out, I was initially very skeptical about it. I can't remember what I read about it, but I read it's like a game that was developed by nobody who knew how to play an instrument or something along those lines. So I was like, ooh, maybe not. But I bought it when it came out and I was really pleasantly surprised. So I was thinking, man, I got to jump on that, got to get
Yeah.
better. And if you watch some of those older videos, they're actually really, really bad. So you can definitely see how far I've come. There's just like videos of Jessica and Damn It that are haunting me to this day. It's like old Bohemian Rhapsody or something. I don't know,
Right.
but it's just crazy. So yeah,
Um,
so then I've just been going since then, basically.
and this is going to come off a little bit self-serving for me, but what am I going to do? How does playing through such a wide variety of songs on a weekly basis does that impact your songwriting? Does that influence the types of music that you want to make? And how so?
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably one of the biggest things I take away from Rocksmith, other than, learning songs, is just the diversity in music that you get. And I'm not just saying that as like a shill or anything. I mean, there's hundreds of bands I wouldn't have listened to, outside of the game, and
Right.
some of them I'm really glad to
Let's
have heard.
can we have an example of a band that you maybe would have been resistant to? That
Right off the bat, I can't think of it. I'll look at some of the videos I have
sure,
set
sure.
up first. So maybe initially I might not have listened to. I don't know. There's probably something in here, but
Maybe earlier on there were more that you would have been
yeah, yeah,
against.
definitely. Mostly like some of the heavier stuff too, where I would just be kind of resistant to kind of listen to, but I'm like, oh, this is pretty fun. So like right off the top of my head, I can't think of
Yeah,
a
because
single one.
yeah, just from listening to the music that you make, it's not metal. It's not. I wouldn't say it's. It has an edge. It's rock. It's rock music. Where would you
Yeah,
sort of place? I mean, you've listed some of the bands that made you more interested in music. Is that still where your tastes lie in the sort of like indie rock, uh, alternative leanings?
yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. So indie, acoustic is definitely still a big proponent of it. You might not think, but that garage rock, really what we could only do between two guys, because the band's only me and my brother.
Oh, okay, okay,
So, and he does the drums and I do everything else. So
cool.
it's basically just restricted to what I can do or
Right.
what we could do on stage. But we haven't played in a while, so I've kind of let go of kind of that archaic thinking of, oh, we need to sound how we do on the records. And that's something I prided myself early on, is that we did sound exactly like we did on the EP, but nowadays it's just we don't play together. He lives on the other side of the state and
Gotcha.
I've just been recording this thing, so
Okay. And how do those restrictions, just having the two of you in the band, starting things off acoustically, how does that influence how your sound eventually materializes?
well, I would
That's a
that's
tough
kind of a
one.
hard
Yeah,
question.
yeah. I think I didn't
Like
prepare for you that one.
over time it's definitely evolved. I've kind of tried to let go of the mentality that I have to restrict myself to only one guitar or maybe a bass in there, but in these new songs obviously I've expanded a bit. There's like three or four guitars playing at the same time in some places, there's octaves and there's piano in some tunes. So harmonies is a thing that
Yeah.
my brother is really reluctant to do, but I'm like, well, just want to make the songs
And
how
these
I want to make them.
are these recorded at home? Are these
No.
you have a
I
studio?
Yep, studio.
And
Studio's like about an hour and a half away from me, so try to make as much time there, work as we can.
do you have much say in the mastering, or do you leave that to the person who does that?
Um, Typically, people would recommend that you take the mastering to a different person
Okay.
or service so they have fresh ears. But this one we just did with the same guy because he was really on board with what we were doing, and it really expedited the process. For these 5 songs that we are releasing, we actually only had started re-recording them in October, and then we finished in January, and now we're releasing it. So it's just been a really quick turnaround compared to the
Yeah.
first half where we
Right.
went through like a more professional revenue. Like this guy was, we recorded in his garage
Yeah.
and finished in 3 months, and then this other guy is just like studio in downtown Seattle. You think it would have all the bells and whistles and get everything done, but it doesn't work out that
I think
way.
just everybody's trying to piece everything together as they can.
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
it's interesting to get a look into that. I got one more question, but I want to make sure we get all the information out there. So the
yeah,
album's coming
absolutely.
out February 20th.
Yep.
If you've already received side A, you can get side B on its own, or you can pick up the full
Yes.
album
Yeah,
now, right?
exactly.
And
And side B will only be available for a limited amount of time. I already pulled side A, so it's basically for anyone who already purchased side A and they like the second half. It's its own separate thing, but there's also the complete album, which has it in its intended album order, and it's all compiled in
are
one
the
big
tracks from both
package.
sides mixed now? Like, are they
Yes.
okay? Interesting, interesting,
Yep.
interesting. I would like to hear more maybe at another time. I'll talk to you later about how that might impact the flow of music by combining, kind of reshuffling the song orders.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
probably not the best way to go about doing it, but it makes sense for me and it's how I want to do it.
yeah,
So
yeah. All right. One more question, and this is a little bit on the spot for you. Uh, do you have any words for someone who wants to create something, who wants to make some music, but is terrified or just doesn't know where to begin? What would you say to
uh
that person?
I don't know. It's kind of strange because I've been working on this album for so long. Basically, ever since we started the EP, it's just been, full speed ahead. These 5 songs were actually written before we had recorded the first half of the album. So these
Oh,
songs are
wow.
older, and so we've been sitting on these since basically we recorded the EP. So now I'm basically back at the step we're looking forward. I'm not sure where to start. I would say just start simple, record yourself, listen to it, give it to some friends and say like, "Hey, how does this sound? What do you think? Does this sound weird?" And try to write about something that you're really passionate about, like an experience, especially if it's your first time. I think it's
Yeah.
so much easier if you write about something specific and you just focus on it. And
Right.
I feel like that makes it so much easier. But since I put everything into this album, it's hard to see where I'm gonna go from here.
And just I guess if you are that passionate about something and you do reach out for friends for criticism, be open to that criticism.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Don't.
I love it when people tell me that my voice sounds bad or it's just like, this guitar sounds out of tune. It's like, good, I like it that way.
Okay.
But I appreciate you telling me. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
At least they know that you know, and you know that they know, and everything is where it needs to be.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Ellison.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
We are going to now play for you DSD, the first single off side B of Verse Together. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. And welcome back to the Rocksmith Developer Stream. I am still Doug Lilly, your host and the community developer for Rocksmith. What you just saw was DSD, the first single, or the newest single off. Well, it's the first single off side B of Burst Together, the upcoming album from the Good and the Damned, which is your very own Ellison Cruz. Again, if you joined us a little bit late, that's Ellison's band. He's the torso and legs of the riffrepeater.com videos, gameplay trailers, gameplay videos that you see on YouTube. Sorry for that confusing choice of words there. That was Ellison. That's band. CD's coming out next week. Information on how to get it should be in the chat right now. Thanks. And if anybody else out there is making some music and wants to share it, we've got places. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. We are at Rocksmith Game. Facebook, we are facebook.com/Rocksmith. We also got our forums at rocksmith.com. Just look for the link there. Right now, I'd like to say hello to our next guests. Andrew Levin, hello.
Yo.
Yo. Amy Batista,
Hello.
welcome back. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. You ready?
I feel better than my shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Not like death.
Not like that.
Not like that. So we are going to play, and by we I mean you, Fire, Ready, Aim, the second track off the new Green Day album that just came out last Friday.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here? Is this one of your tracks?
Yeah.
Okay. What are we looking at?
Power chords
Power chords.
and diddlies.
Is that what we call? Is that is that the official? Now is
It's
that
officially called a diddly.
And what's going on? So we're looking at active, noisy,
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
power chords. And bass. What's going on over there?
Oh no.
You don't. You don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. Let's go ahead and take a
Sight
look.
reading on site.
This is Fire, Ready, Aim from the Green Day song pack 4. Is noisy pentatonic fun?
Yeah.
That's sort of the world I've been living in for the past couple months, I think.
Have you?
The
Yeah.
1975.
Mostly, no, actually.
They're a cool band.
I think I keep meaning to check them out, but I get every time I see it, I think of Death from Above 1979.
That's what I. Oh, that's actually what I meant.
No, I love DFA.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to listen to the 1975 yet.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
Yeah.
behind the times.
I think I was thinking of.
Death from
that.
Above.
Yeah.
Okay.
1975 is a good band.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Cool.
So is Death from Above 1979, which
Yeah.
might be just going by Death from Above again. I'm not sure.
What about Death Grips?
They're fun. They're way different than either of those other two groups, but I like them too. Yeah, all these bands. And if you're looking for things to request or how to request any of the songs by any of those bands that aren't currently in Rocksmith, there should be a link in chat right now that'll show you where you can go to request music. thank you both for playing. Did you want to talk about? I mean, I think we're just having fun with these songs, really.
You
What do
hate me.
you-
You don't want to listen to me talk.
What do you got? What do you got? Okay, what do you got?
Oh, I just started playing. I don't. It's Green
He's
Day.
got nothing.
Oh,
He's
you're
got
gonna,
nothing.
you're gonna give me a hard. You're gonna give me a hard
I
time
can just
about.
keep talking about my day. I don't know. You don't want to hear about that.
So
Oh yeah, they're fast. One
yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
switching,
yeah.
switching,
Okay,
switching.
okay,
Okay.
yeah. So here's one thing. I totally forgot. I wrote it out this way. Where I was doing this E chord up on the 12th fret.
yeah.
And it was originally transcribed when it came to my desk as this, right here.
Yeah.
And I ended up kind of doing that midway through the song just because I was reading, and it's hard to kind of like look over there while you're doing those big switches, which is why actually, if you look at the recap, I was a half step off on certain chords because I was like trying to do that. The reason I wrote it out that way is, to me, it sounded like there was a bit of sliding going on. Punk was like the first style of music I ever got into. My first concert was the Dead Kennedys when I was like 12 years old.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
I saw Bad Religion when I was like 12, and I just like thought I was super punk and cool.
Yeah.
Even though I probably wasn't that cool, but that was like the first style of music I ever got really into.
Yeah.
And like one thing that is pretty common in punk is just like big slideys. And so you're gonna get in my opinion, a more cool sound if you get that little slide in there, going to the 12th fret, as opposed to.
Yeah, there's. I guess there is the risk when playing punk of sounding too clean.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to play sloppy, but there's a certain looseness, I think.
Yeah.
That is pretty commonly associated.
Yeah, and then you might start getting into the pop punk territory if you
Which
start.
is which is different.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when you do have much more sort of precise focus. For the most part, there are always exceptions. There
Yeah.
are always exceptions.
This part is actually somewhat tough. Like that's pretty fast, and I remember when I was first starting, there was a Ramones song. I forget which one it is. Is it "Now I Want to Sniff
it-
Some Glue"?
Is it Warthog?
I don't know.
Is
It's a
I don't
Ramones
want to
song.
be buried in a pet cemetery.
I don't know. It's just fast.
Is
I
it-
remember. I remember I was trying to play it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is really fast!" And it was a similar type of situation.
So is this a situation where you really want to have a light touch?
Maybe I don't
Okay.
know. I don't. No, I mean
You
honestly,
typically don't have a light touch.
I see how it is.
No.
No,
I speak the truth.
when it comes to when I want to rock out, I'm gonna rock out,
Yeah,
man. But
Just
no.
call him out, why don't you?
Why, you have a heavy hand. You have a heavy hand when you play. That's
Yeah, for this stuff, I mean, actually, I would play it pretty heavy-handed. Like,
okay. So then you just need to make that run. You just need to practice that run.
yeah, I think that if you run the risk with this kind of stuff of if you're playing too light,
sloppily.
it doesn't quite
Yeah.
sound right to me. One thing that I do quite commonly that you might notice is I'm bridging all the way across with my first finger and muting all of these strings.
Yeah.
And when I'm playing punk stuff like this, I usually hit all the strings all the time. I'm actually hitting all 6 strings.
So you're really only, as far as like string switching, you're really only moving your ring finger, right? Is that what I'm saying? Well,
No, I'm moving
guess-
this here, but
I
I'm
guess if
I'm-
you were playing like you said you were playing.
Well, no. I am.
Oh, so you're muting the E with. Your
Yeah, with my first finger.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it gives it a more percussive sound, more aggressive sound,
Yeah.
and you want to be aggressive if you're playing punk music. So
It's true. It's true.
yeah.
Emmy,
Yep.
how was that?
It was great.
Good. All right. See, and that's how we do it. All right. Yeah, it is. We've got 10 minutes. There's one more song, but first we have a lot of Green Day in our library. I believe now they are the band with the most songs in the Rocksmith library.
Bay Area.
Bay Area. So if you're wondering what else might be in the library, once again, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Amy. Here's some songs in case you missed it. We have had, you might guess from the name of this week's song pack, we have had 3 previous Green Day song packs. The first came out way back in 2013 and included American Idiot, Basket Case, and Oh love. The next song pack, which was Green Day Song Pack 2, came out in 2016, which included 21 Guns, Bang Bang, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, Longview, Wake Me Up When September Ends, and then the most recent Green Day pack before this one included Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Holiday, Jesus of Suburbia, Know Your Enemy, Welcome to Paradise, and yeah, that was just in 2018. And we know we have had the occasional single, and I'm pretty sure the song we're about to hear is going to be one of those singles. So let me check and see if the poll results are in. I have a link. Let's take a look here. And we're going to see. I think we can. We're almost. We can almost say hello to the guests that will be playing this bonus song. That they don't know what it is. Again, unless they cheat. And it is a landslide. Looks to be. I'll tell them on the stream when they get here. When once we introduce them, once we're able to say hello. I think we can say hello. They're still tuning up, but I think it's fair enough.
Fleetwood Mac?
You're playing Landslide. Yeah.
Oh,
that's the
okay.
name
I
of the
didn't
song.
practice that one.
Hey, that's news to me.
And surprise, our guests to play the mystery bonus song, David Stevens, our QA czar, and Dan Amrick, the studio
Just
scout.
bizarre.
Just bizarre.
Yeah. Were they kind to us, or did they give us something super
well,
difficult?
Well, I don't know. We're tuning in E flat, so that narrows it down.
Did you see what it was? Did you see it on there?
No, we were already
Oh, you
ready
were
to
just tuning-
calibrate when we got
okay,
up
gotcha,
here.
gotcha,
so
gotcha. So
being thrown to the wolves. And
yeah,
by
so
wolves,
this
I mean
is-
Chet.
Is this the first time? Dan, you hosted the stream for a little while, isn't it?
I
right?
did once upon a time, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot longer then, apparently.
Apparently so. Well, I'm working on that now. Is this the first time that we've had any sort of like audience selection for?
Yeah, no,
a
because
song?
I didn't care enough to do any sort of audience participation. No, this was something that obviously on Twitch, it's fairly common that streamers will take requests,
Yes.
and everybody's like, "You guys should take requests." I'm like, "It's really not. It's not that kind of show. Like we don't have the way to do it. There was no easy way to do it. You found an easy way to do it.
I
So
found a
thank
way.
you for that.
I found
yeah.
a way to do it, and it seemed like a good pack.
Yeah,
for
well,
this.
you've got a deep bench when it comes to Green Day, as
Yeah,
you mentioned.
yeah.
But yeah, this is the first time that I think we've let the crowd decide anything in real
Yeah.
time, which is pretty wonderful.
I like it. There's a lot of chatter back there.
Yeah, well, we got newbies on the board.
Yeah, we got newbies on the board. They keep talking.
And I was late to the board, so I threw everything into a tizzy.
So everybody but me has really just messed up. Just breathe.
Yeah.
everybody's cool. So yeah, if this is the kind of thing that you like, that is cool to you, let us know. I just told you all the social media. It's probably on the screen. It will be on the screen soon, but we're at Rocksmith Game on Twitter and Instagram.
What's the
Let
song,
us know.
Doug?
What's the song?
You're killing us.
The two of you will be playing. Can I get a drum roll? Welcome to Paradise.
All right.
Oh, God, that middle bass
Yeah.
bit. Okay.
85% of the votes.
Oh, good
Wow.
Lord. How long were the
85%
polls
of the
open?
votes.
Like 15 minutes?
They opened an hour before we went live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there were
That's
435
ridiculous.
votes.
I
All
kind
right.
of suspected when I looked at the potential things, I figured they would go Dookie. They would go old school.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of very difficult bass parts on that record.
Yeah, there sure are.
Real
There
super
sure
fun
are.
to play. But, I mean, I
He
told
was-
you beforehand, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, look, I'm not going to be able to have time to do 10 songs and practice
Yeah.
them all. I'm going to pick the 3 that I think are most likely to
Well-
win this poll and hope that I can get them up around 90%.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure part of the fun of letting the audience choose the song is the lack of preparedness on the
Oh yeah,
player's
no.
behalf.
How cruel can they be? What's the hardest song? They're here for the NASCAR incidents, right?
no.
Like,
We'll find out if we do this sort of thing again. I guess we'll find out if the crowd is just here to be mean to
Yeah,
the players.
I think they
We'll
are.
Find out.
I mean, I'll take it. This turns out to be my favorite Green Day song. So
I love this song, but it is challenging on bass in the middle. The ends. There's a really
Yeah.
nice string skip that's part
Yeah.
of the main riff, which might be worth showing when we're done. But
Okay.
that's assuming I make it through the middle bit.
I
The
think-
bridge is a monster.
You know, I believe in us.
I believe in you, and I believe that David is a far more accomplished player than I am.
oh boy.
So, favorite song, right?
see.
Favorite song.
We
to listen to.
We have a few questions. We will get to some of the questions after this. But here, what did I say we're playing? Welcome to Paradise by Green Day. Oh, yeah.
face is falling off. Hey, David, want to switch?
No? Nah. Maybe, actually.
Here it comes.
I mean, I have my own problems here. We lived.
Did we?
Welcome to paradise.
No, I did not make that final riff.
But that fill sounded pretty good, though.
It was
worked.
the wrong fill at the right time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we don't often talk about
for a moment, or
we don't talk about strap height enough. Sure. And this is fine if I'm standing, and then I don't have to worry about it. But when I do, then it slips off my shoulder, and the sound becomes very distracting, and then I have to sort of contort, and my arm gets out. I'm going to get a different strap.
It's a little
for this.
bass.
Well,
It's a tiny little baby bass, but yeah, the strap is actually incorrect for this.
The strap requires tension to work.
Right, and I didn't do it, so I should get one with a buckle so that I can like, do the way up there. Yeah, we made it. Woo,
Made it.
yeah, here we go.
Oh, yeah, I would like to say that you have done a much better job getting through that song than you have high-fiving one another.
Yeah,
Oh, that
no,
was a
for sure. We
disaster.
didn't practice that.
Disaster.
I have a few questions.
Oh, me too. Who did that?
for
Who
it-
voted for that?
Almost 85% of the
Yeah,
people
everybody.
voted for that. At least-
Saw some people who were upset that it wasn't going to be basket case.
Basket Case was second. Basket Case was,
Okay,
the
okay.
second in there with 4% of the vote, and then third Boulevard of Broken Dreams with
Neck and neck.
3%. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Longview,
It
not
was
even
a-
win, place, or show.
it
The
was
one that
a-
I was like,
It was a
they're
close
going to do
race,
it.
but we got through it. So I have a couple questions actually for Andrew. I'll probably have him come out in a minute
Okay.
to answer those.
I can swap out.
But we do have a question. This was from way early in the stream from CJ Blandford. I won't be able to answer a lot of it.
We'll
he
wing
asks, He asks. He says he's curious as to how this pack came about. as far as like getting new content along with a brand new album. Now that's something I can't really address. That's something that I think Anthony would be able to speak to.
Yeah.
But he is
Not
here
here
right now.
in the office
I
today.
mean,
Yeah.
we could just say we have a good relationship with Green Day.
Yeah, I mean we've
yeah.
worked with them.
Obviously, if
a
you look
number
at
of times.
the volume of their songs in our library, it's pretty self-evident.
It's a nice relationship. The second part of that question from CJ Blanford is this something we'd like to do for future new releases as well? This is actually the third time that we've done this.
Yeah.
Right? Because we had the Dragon Force single on the day that the album was released, or near the day.
Near, at least, if not
that
on.
Or maybe it was the day that the single was released. I think that was
Music video.
Music video. Single.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Black Keys way before my time.
Oh, that would have been before my time, too, I think.
Oh.
You mean Lonely Boy? Was it Lonely
think so.
Boy or was it Gold on the Ceiling?
I think it was Gold on the Ceiling.
This
That
is a
sounds right.
McCune story,
Oh,
which
okay.
I
Yeah.
believe is posted at rocksmith.com.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
and yeah, he tells the story of being able to go and listen to the Black Keys album El Camino before it was released, and having to choose which songs they wanted for the game, and hoping that these might be the singles. So yeah, it doesn't happen too often, but it is
Yeah.
nice when it happens. And sure, I hope that we can continue doing
And
these kind of things,
especially if it's
very timely.
especially with artists that we know players want.
Right.
The
Yeah.
artists that we know our players have some connection with, some history with. Then yeah, if we can put out songs at the same time as
You don't get to
their
4
releases.
packs unless we have some
Yeah.
very clear indicators that people enjoy playing Green
Yeah.
Day in this
Yeah.
in this context.
Definitely.
And a couple questions. Does Andrew want to come?
I'll swap
steal a
out.
headset? You'll swap out. All right. Thank you, Dan Amrick.
Yep.
Thank you for braving this new methodology of playing bonus songs. Andrew Levin is on the way to answer a couple questions. Actually, while you're putting those on, David, Francois Luong wants to know if you had the urge to stand up while playing the song.
Not necessarily. No, I didn't really think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Standing, not on the table today.
Wasn't necessary.
Andrew Levin.
So,
Toy Machine SH wants to know if there's lead guitar playing along with the synth in Fire Ready Aim, or has too much time passed for you to be able to.
I'm not sure which part is the synth part actually, and that's I like synths. Are you talking about the part that's like
We'll I'll check the chat to see if when he gets that, if he answers us back, and we might circle back around to the question.
Yeah.
Other question, Guitar Princess 2 wants to know specifically from you, how can I make my practicing more effective?
That's a I'll try and make that as short of a answer as I can. So there are really there are a few different aspects to your playing, right? You have your repertoire, which is the songs that you're playing. You have your technique, and you have your ear, and then you have your theory as well. But let's not worry too much about that right now. So when you're practicing along with Rocksmith, you get your repertoire, right? You learn songs, but sometimes you may not have the technique that you need in order to play those songs, right? So if we're specifically talking about technique, there are a few things that you can do right off the bat. Obviously, it's a long subject, but I really recommend learning. If you don't already know your pentatonic scales, learn your pentatonic scales. If you don't know your 7 modes, learn your 7 modes. And if you don't know what that is, look that up. That is the most important thing that I've ever learned. And basically, I'll just do a quick explanation. Essentially, if you have a scale, or major, let's do the major scale. Right? There are 8 notes in there. So if I start from the root, go to the root, and I have my major scale. That's the first mode. Your second mode is going to be going from the second note to the second note. So third mode would be, right? And you can use that to navigate your neck. So rather than doing it in one position, you can actually do that here. All right. Most of Western music's based on that. And the reason that I mention the modes, and again, I don't have time to really go into depth with that, is the absolute best thing you can do to build up your speed is to go onto use a metronome and just practice going up and down your modes and seeing how fast you can get. So if you have metronome, let's say I'll do click. Yeah, thanks, Doug. Be my metronome. All right, and then you can. All right, and once you get that down, it's easy. You can slightly speed that up over time. So let's say you're starting at 95 beats per minute or something. You can then go up to 100 beats per minute, 105 beats per minute, keep going until you can't go any faster. And if a full scale is too much, you can start with a fragment of a scale. So one of the first speed exercises I ever did was... And I just sat there until I got that fast, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing you can do for your single note playing. I would say that using a metronome extends to pretty much any other aspect of music, right? The metronome has been my best friend when it comes to that. Sounds sad. I spent a lot of time practicing with a metronome. So you could take it, for example, with the Green Day song, Ready, Aim, Fire, right? If whatever that is, right? If that's too tough for you, right? You could slow that down, take your metronome, boom, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then again, gradually speed that up. So like let's say that's probably around 80 beats per minute, somewhere around there. Get that really solid. Right? Then maybe go up to 88. Then maybe go up to 93. Just back in the day when I was doing this a lot, I actually had a physical metronome, so I had to like go up the clicks, right? But you can use metronomeonline.com. There's a bunch of metronome apps for your phone. But my biggest thing when it comes to being a technically proficient player, just get used to playing with a metronome. It'll make your technique better, but it'll also make your timing better. And instilling that sense of like a inner metronome and inner sense of time is, in my opinion, the most important. I think rhythm is 90% of music. So yeah, my number one tip would be practice with a metronome, learn your modes, and that's again a long subject, but you can Google it.
Two
hot
tips.
Would you say accuracy before speed?
Yes.
I think play as fast as you can play correctly.
Yes.
Sort of the.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you're going faster than you can do comfortably and correctly, then you're actually practicing it incorrectly. And then when you want to learn how to play it correctly, now you're having to spend extra time fixing bad habits because you practiced it incorrectly. It's like slouching a lot, right? If you slouch a lot, you're at your desk and you're doing this, your body gets used to that. And so then if you get shoulder problems and that kind of thing, it's because your body gets really strong at what it's used to doing.
Holding you in this position.
Exactly. Yeah. And likewise, if you like never use your pinky, you're going to get good at playing without your pinky, but then you know what I mean? So yeah, I would definitely say, accuracy before speed. On the flip side of that, there is one thing that you can do if you're practicing accurately and you're doing your speed exercises. Sometimes it's cool to see if you can push yourself a little beyond where you're comfortable with, and then maybe doing it once. But yeah, for the most part, get it accurate and get it in time, right? Like you might be doing a good job of hitting all of the notes correctly, but if your timing is not good, then
it's gonna sound.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Accuracy before speed and rhythm before all other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rhythm is all.
Yeah.
I had. Actually, before I move to that, Elliot got back to us. The refrain. Does that do anything for you from Fire Ready Aim?
The refrain.
With the synth.
Oh yeah, the. Yeah, I do remember there being, now that you mentioned that, I remember there being a synth part in there, and I forget. I really do. I'm sorry, man. I totally forget.
I don't remember what the question was. So.
It was, I think it was if there was guitar along with the synth part.
There's a part of the song where it does the little diddlies, and it goes like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the synth part, but yeah, I don't remember. There's also like a baby got the hyperbole, and that's like, and that's like a keyboard part. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but the guitar doesn't do that. So
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully your answer was.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hopefully this question was answered.
I'd have to listen to it again.
David Stevens, I actually had a question for you. When you have those long periods of legato and with the slides, how do you maintain volume?
Volume.
Like in the bridge.
He really just explained it.
Okay.
Accuracy, speed, technique. Yeah.
Okay.
Practice.
All right.
Yeah. Just play it the way it needs to be played.
All right.
I have
I mean,
one.
that seems like a cop out, but
Yeah.
that's really how simple it is.
I have
Okay.
one thing that can help with sustain. It's
Okay.
vibrato. You can actually just kind of
Yeah. Oh yeah.
use
If
the
you're
vibrato
trying to cheat the tails.
Yeah.
Because some guitars, especially if you're lower output pickups.
And real
you know,
quick, when you say cheat the tails, please give
Well,
me
so if you have a lower output guitar and you're trying to hold out those long sustains, sometimes the input may actually drop before the sustain ends, and you'll see the tail go dark. That's not anything you should be worried about in terms of playing it, or because you still hear yourself in the guitar.
Yeah.
But like he said, you can sort of a little bit of vibrato on that will kind of
Like
keep
rejuvenate
the
it a
life
little bit?
going on that
Yeah.
sustain if you are concerned about keeping that tail going.
Vibrato is like a Band-Aid for sustain.
But to be honest, it's also overused a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's it's kind of, there's something to be said for a nice long clean sustain,
It's true.
and a lot of people will get in the habit of adding a little vibrato to everything, and then it doesn't sound special anymore.
Right.
guilty.
Yeah, I've noticed that I've started doing it, so I'm trying to cut myself off from it. So yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
if you hear
Calling
me
you
do it,
out?
call me out. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we are about ready for the final giveaway. I want to thank both of you,
Thank you.
for playing the mystery song, Dan for playing the mystery song, Andrew for playing earlier, and coming back to answer some of these questions. Right now, we're going to give away our last Ernie Ball prize pack of the day. So please listen to UB Jurassic once more for your chance to win this prize pack, which includes everything that you see on the screen. That is a 6-string set of guitar strings, regular slinky, a 4-string set for your bass, also regular slinky, 12 picks from Ernie Ball, 3 from us in the Spectrum Plectrum, 1 black Ernie Ball guitar strap, a package of Wonder Wipes from Ernie Ball, and a peg winder. All of that can be yours if you listen to UB Jurassic in the chat. If you win, he's going to reach out to you and whisper. He's going to get your name. He's going to get your shipping address and your phone number. As always, we need all of that information in order to ship your prize to you. So good luck to everyone. And lastly, I just want to say one more time, thank you very much to Ellison Cruz for spending all the time with us in that interview, for coming on the stream and letting us know about the creation of Side B to Burst Together. Again, Burst Together is coming out on February 20th. You can find it on Bandcamp. That link should be found in the chat right about now. Again, if you want to share some music, we've got a place for it. Our forums is a great place to talk about music, especially anything that you're working on right now. If you want to let people know that you've got a band, you've got a group, or you're just recording on your own, you can do that there. We're also on social media, Twitter and Instagram. We are at Rocksmith Game. Facebook.com/Rocksmith is where you can find us there. Coming up tomorrow, there will be a clue in our forums to let you know what at least one song that is coming next week. So again, that's rocksmith.com. Click the link for the forums, and we will see a clue there from RS222. That will be posted by Brian Turner, our community manager in North Carolina, a.k.a. UB Jurassic. He will post that about 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. That is 7 a.m. Pacific time and something else in other places. And I think that's about, I feel like I've forgotten something, but I don't know what it is, so we'll just move on. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you. Oh, I remembered what it was. Don't stop. There will be an encore stream this month. That will be the final Monday of February, whatever month it is. It'll be the final Monday of February. That is Monday the 24th. So look for more information on that coming up soon. And let's take one more look at the Green Day Song Pack 4, and we'll see you next week.
I still lie.